All right, everybody, welcome back to the Youth Holiday Match Games, Colonial Lanes, Rochester, Minnesota. We are through qualifying now. Our top 16 have been set, and the bowlers are starting their warm-ups right now. I hope the sheet that I put up at the end of the last stream was legible. If not, maybe this will do. Maybe we can zoom in a little bit, try and help everybody see who we're looking at here. So, as expected, Zach Andreessen took the top spot in the tournament at plus 68 for his 7 games of qualifying. Following him is Tyler Rittenauer, Isaiah Sample, Dawson Unrath, Jason Moberg, Trey Henriksmeyer, and then you have Brooke Salzman, the top girl, who qualified 7th overall, but on top for the girls in this. Lucas Hersrud, Cody Hunker, Nathan Ewell, Drake Waite, Joe Woods-Wiseman, Kira Magzam, Liz Rittenauer, Chase Swenson, and then you have one other girl, Peyton Rowley. So for the girls, Peyton Rowley at minus 111. For the boys, Chase Swenson at minus 52. So, and as Sam says, bonus bowling. So that's who we've got in our bracket. And this is kind of the tricky part because the bracket is handwritten on kind of like an easel looking thing. And it's kind of hard to get that into the live stream. That's something Al said that we'll be working on for next year's event. But we'll have a couple pairs here on the stream that you can see. So right in front of us, you've got Cody Hunker against Lucas Hersrud. And that's on the left. On the right is Drake Waite and Trey Henriksmeyer. These are 1-game matches, but it's a double elimination format. So even the losers still have a second chance. You just can't lose twice. And as we saw yesterday, if someone wins 5 matches in a row to get to the championship without a loss, they would have to be beaten twice. So the crowd back here has certainly thinned out. The higher seed will choose which lane to start and therefore finish on.
Scoreboards are coming up. Good luck and good bowling.
And just like in yesterday's event, they did not re-oil between shifts. So they're going to be pretty dry, pretty crispy. And we'll see who is moving on in which bracket. very soon. Quick spare for Drake, who starts the match on the left lane. Jay Santos in the house. Says, great tournament. Thanks for the stream, Fef. Thank you for tuning in. Always appreciated. If you're watching live, feel free to use that live chat right under the video window like Jay and Sam did. Cheer on your favorite competitors. Give them a shout out. As Trey Henriksmeyer goes through the face on that first shot, leaving him a 4.67. Off to my left, Zach Andreessen is bowling against Peyton Rowley. To the right, Dawson Unrath is bowling against Kira Magson. Lucas Herzrud in there with a strike to open things up. He's another one we saw along with Zach Andreessen, Trey Henriksmeyer, making the cut yesterday in the adult match games. You can see that video in this same playlist on the channel as Trey strikes in his second frame of this opening match. So we've got a pretty good mix of traditional bowlers who use their thumb and two-handers, no thumb. Got a couple of the ladies who made the cut right along with the boys. A couple who got in because they guaranteed 4 spots for the girls. Certainly some players higher rev rate than others, but a pretty good mix. A lot of talented bowlers in this. Henriksmeyer hits that double to get within a pin of weight. And a 7-pin for Trey, really keeping with that similar formula of what worked for him on this pair late in qualifying. He did hit a 257 here, which was one of the higher games that we saw on 7 and 8. Lucas Herzrud working on the first two. He's up on lane 6. You can see him on the left side. Ooh, and a tough break on that 3-6. Threw plastic at it, but chopped it. He's got 67 through 4 and is down by 11. Comes back with a nice half pocket strike on the left. Drake is just a sophomore in high school and really has a nice physical game, great release. We saw him on 7 and 8 during qualifying. Also saw him at the border battle in Eau Claire this past May. Ringing 10 for Herzrud. He's a freshman at St. Ambrose University, one of the really powerful college programs in the Midwest. Oh, but he missed a 10-pin. So, still hanging on to a lead here. As Cody steps up in the 4th in hopes of narrowing that gap with a strike. Over to our left on lanes 3 and 4, you've got Zach Andreessen trailing right now in his match with Peyton Rowley. Both Zach and Peyton, freshmen at their respective universities. Zach at Mount Mercy, Peyton at Valparaiso. Oh, and a nice break for Trey. Messenger taking out the 10. He's got 97 through 5 with a strike up. So Drake is going to have to keep striking to keep pace. And another chopped spare there on the left by Cody. So 53 through 4 for him and 77 through 4 for Lucas. And a nice shot from Drake there to keep pace with Trey. And after that shot from Cody, we're going to have some deadwood on lane 5 to clean up. But I'll likely have that taken care of in short order. A spare for Drake. So he's got 115 through 6 with that spare up in the 7th. And Trey now up in the 7th with a chance to extend the lead with a strike. You could see Kira just leave that 8-10 off to our right. She's bowling against Dawson Unrath, who has 128 through 5 with a spare up in the 6th. And with that open frame, Kira with 123 through 7. So Dawson with a comfortable lead through 6 frames. A big strike for Trey in the 7th. That's going to extend his lead. He's got 97 through 5 with that double up. And another strike is really going to put the pressure on Drake to perform in these last 3 frames. So Jenny wants to know what Dawson and Kira's score is. So Dawson is up right now in the 7th frame. He's got 128 through 5 with a spare up in the 6th. And he just left a 10-pin. So he has 147 through 6 with a chance of a spare in the 7th. Kira has 123 through 7. And Trey hits his 3rd strike in a row. Up high, leaving a 4-pin. So 134 through 7. And with that spare up, he'd still have a shot at 214 if he can punch out. Get those last 4. But either way, Trey is going to get up in the 9th with an opportunity to lock him out, as he did 6 different times in the adult match games yesterday. Great shot by Drake on lane 7. So 214 if he can keep it going. But Trey has 127 through 6 with a double up. And could end up with a 240 if he hits the next 4. Meanwhile, off to our right, both Kira and Dawson hit strikes in the 8th. Dawson's lead is up to 44. And Dawson coming up in the 9th now with a chance to lock this one up. So Trey can go 9 spare strike for 216, and that would be all he'd need to win this match. But if he gets 8 on the first shot, then things get a little different. Instead, he pounds 10 back, and this one is going to be all his. So again, as I mentioned, Trey won 6 in a row yesterday to take the adult match games. And he's just taken his first match on the youth side. So he will advance through the winner's bracket for the next match. And an 8-10 for Cody on the left. Meanwhile, on the right side, Dawson opened in the 9th, but all he'll need is a mark to lock this one up in the 10th. And he hits 10 back, so he'll advance through the winner's bracket as well. On the left, Cody just left that 8-10, missed them both. So he has 88 through 7. And Lucas Herzrud stepping up in the 7th has 97 through 5 with a strike up in the 6th. And a chance to really take a commanding lead in this match. Off to the left of there in the Andreessen-Rowley match. Zach put together 3 in a row in the 6th through 8th frames. Had a 7 spare in the 9th. He's got 163 through 8 with a spare up. And Rowley had a couple spares and an open, then a strike in the 9th. So she has 139 through 8 with that strike in the 9th. She's still got a chance at 199, but if Andreessen marks here in the 10th, it's all over. And sends a messenger right in front of the 10 pin. Again, he needs that 10 pin, needs to pick it up to lock out Peyton Rowley. In the Hendricksmeyer versus Waite match, Trey ends up with a 247 after punching out the 10th to Drake's 194. Off to the right, it's a 215 for Dawson Unrath. And Kira spared in the 10th. She'll have a shot at 192, but either way, she'll be in the loser's bracket and facing elimination matches the rest of the way. But Zach just whiffed that 10 pin on the left, and that leaves the door open for Peyton. She needs to double and get a little count, and she could score a win and send Zach Andreessen, our high qualifier in the qualifying round, into the loser's bracket. But she's got to have 2 strikes. You'll see her come into frame on the left. Great shot, but could not carry the 10. And Zach Andreessen will survive and send Peyton Rowley into the loser's bracket. Andreessen, you'll recall, was the leading qualifier at plus 68. And he'll be advancing in the winner's bracket. Meanwhile, Cody here on 5 and 6 spares up in the 8th, but he's got a major hole to get out of to get back in this match with Lucas Herzrud. Looks like Isaiah Sample was victorious in his match off to our right on 11 and 12 with a 2:01 game. All right, and a spare from Cody in the ninth. So he's got 106 through 8 with that spare up in the ninth. And really, Hersrud is going to cruise to a win here. So he will enter the winner's bracket or advance through the winner's bracket. And for Cody, he'll be facing elimination from here on out every match he bowls. So off to our left here, Al's got the big bracket. And he's assigning lanes to the match play field as Cody and Lucas finish out their 10th frames.
On the back of your left leg.
So Hersrud wins his opening match 197 to 154. And he'll proceed through. I'm going to try and take a look at this bracket to at least kind of tell you where we'll end up here. It'll be Zach Andreessen and Lucas Hersrud on 17 and 18. This is the winner's bracket now. Trey Henriksmeyer and Dawson Unrath on 11 and 12. Isaiah Sample and Jason Moberg will be 7 and 8 right in front of us here. And Brooke Salzman and Chase Swenson on 3 and 4. That'll be way off to the left. Now in the losers bracket, you've got Peyton Rowley and Cody Hunker on 15 and 16. Drake Waite and Kira Magzum on 13 and 14. Liz Rittenauer and Joe Woods Wiseman on 9 and 10. And Nathan Ewell and Tyler Rittenauer on lanes 5 and 6. So that's one of the two matches you'll see, along with the Moberg and Sample match on 7 and 8. So here's Ewell with a strike on lane 6 to even things up early in his match with Tyler Rittenauer. On the right, you got Isaiah Sample and Jason Moberg.
You got any inside tips?
I've got a few. I mean, you know, never hurts to know a few things about some of these people anyway. We've got Al Houston here in the live stream booth. You can see way off to the left, that's Brooke Salzman, leaving a 10-pin on her opening shot in her match with Chase Swenson.
Yep, you got a big one right now. I'd say Zach and Lucas are down on 17-18 playing each other in the winner's bracket.
And Trey versus Dawson. That's going to be a good one, too.
On 11 and 12, so we got some good matchups here. We got a lot of good people who are still in the field. But if you're still in it this far,
you done good. Yeah. So it's interesting to me that, you know, for all the struggles on 7 and 8, you end up with a 240 to 190 match.
Yeah. One of the higher matches I've seen in a while.
Yeah. There's Isaiah Sample whacking a strike on lane 7.
Isaiah's he's the Rochester guy that made the cut. Anyone else here from the Rochester area that made it?
Okay.
Isaiah here bowls for male.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And Chase is not Rochester?
Chase is not. No, he's in the metro area.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, I lied. Peyton Valley's from the Rochester area too. She's played Zach and Andreessen, but she goes to school at Valparaiso. So she's in that way.
Cool. I should probably turn your volume up, huh? That might make things easier for people to hear you. Yeah, I had few folks that were expressing their opinions very loudly over here, but that'll happen at a bowling tournament.
Part of the tournament.
Yeah. So Moberg, early in the qualifying, had the highest game I have seen on this pair all weekend. He shot
270. High game of the tournament. I think it's a high game of the weekend, honestly.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
On 7 and 8 at that.
Yeah. And he really was able to ride that to the cut. I mean, he had a couple of low 200s in there, but other than that, you know. So Ewell takes that plastic spare ball hard and straight, picks up the spare. He's off to a great start, but Tyler Rittenauer not too far behind.
Yeah. I think it's a little easier to score on the match play. You know, you don't quite have as much transition as having 7 or 8 people on the pair. I think sometimes it's hard to stay ahead of it. You know?
Sure. Yeah. there's a little less of a factor of who is within that 7 and 8. You just got one other person to deal with as far as how the lanes are going to further change. And Rittenauer puts it right in between the 6 and 8. He'll have 75 through 4 and be playing from behind here in the 5th frame. Sample with his second split on that right lane. 2-4-10. And wow, did that ball take off.
Good shot from Brooke on lane 4.
Yeah, she's off to a good start. A healthy lead, 39 through 2 with that strikeout. While Chase, 2 opens on the left lane. Leaves him with 36 through 3.
I got 2 Rittenauers in the cut today.
Yep. One of them, Elizabeth, who...
I almost won my Lindenwood shirt today. I got a Lindenwood shirt from her this year.
Yep, she's a sophomore there.
Yep. I think she's a freshman, ain't she? I could be wrong. Oh, yeah, you're right. Sophomore. That time flies sometimes, you know?
So in that match, you've got Joe Woods-Wiseman, and he's got a double up. So a healthy lead for him in the early going.
You hanging in there, Pep? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
A couple days for you, man.
Yeah, well, you too.
Yeah, yeah. At least I can move around a little bit,
Yeah.
you know. My legs are a little sore today.
Okay.
I didn't get no nap today, man.
That's true. Yeah. You're playing from behind too.
Yeah, man. What do you do?
I figure I'll just nap on the drive home.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Let me know how that goes for you.
So Nathan Ewell picks up that spare. He's got 119 through 5, spare up, and Tyler's got some work to do to catch up.
Thanks again for helping, Terry. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. So you guys aren't on mic?
We're interactive, you know.
Are you sharing some trade secrets, Terry?
Kept me organized, that's for sure.
He's got nothing to say.
That went well. Yep.
That was really smooth.
You got to have fun.
Yep.
Gotta have
Most
fun.
important rule of bowling is
Oh, yeah.
Gotta have fun.
Thank you. Pretty awesome.
Travel safe, Terry. We appreciate you, man. Thanks for cleaning.
So it's opens on the right lane for Chase Swenson in all 3 frames so far. He's got 60 through 5.
That's a good shot from Tyler.
And you'll see Brooke come into the frame on the left side. She's got 59 through 3 with a spare in the 4th and a chance to really take a commanding lead. Isaiah Sample on the right here, a little bit high, left a 4-pin. With a spare here, he'll be just a couple sticks ahead in his match.
Top prize today is $1,200, so it's a
Okay.
pretty good payday.
Oh yeah.
I don't have the list in front of me, but it pays pretty much your last cash spot's about $150.
Okay.
So you make the cut, or you're gonna come up pretty good ahead no matter what, you know.
So if you saw on the left there, Brooke Salzman went cross lane at that 3-6-10, chopped the 3 off the 6 and 10. So she has 84 through 5, but it's still 24 better than Swenson at the moment.
Ooh, get that
Nice
foot pin
break
forward.
for Yule, yeah,
Those don't happen here very often, so you gotta take them when you get them.
for sure. Nice break for Isaiah Sample with 74 through 5, and that strike up in the 6th, maintaining that 2-pin lead over Jason Moberg,
There
who
we
we're
go.
about
There's
to
a big
see on the
double for
right.
Tyler right there.
It's interesting that you've got a couple lefties in play
Yeah.
today, where yesterday you really
Oh,
didn't.
lefties, yeah.
So off to the left, back-to-back opens from Brooke Salzman and Swenson, who has had 3 opens of his own, is suddenly back in this match. You can't see it in the frame, but he is starting in front of the ball return on the right lane and almost pushing off from it with his right foot. So a spare for Tyler Rittenauer. He's got 163 through 8 with a spare up. Meanwhile, Nathan Yule, 142 through 7 with a strike up in the 8th and a chance to take the lead back here in the 9th. Just a touch light. That's certainly not a gimme.
No, none of those spares like that are getting me right now.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another
Great.
good shot from Isaiah there.
Great shot.
Ooh.
So
That 10th frame game here on 5 and 6. I suppose I'm ready to start walking around and getting scores here pretty quick.
yeah, just a 1-pin difference between Tyler Rittenauer and Nathan Yule. Nathan will finish out first on lane 5. He cannot shut out Rittenauer, but he can get awfully close. He can certainly put some pressure on.
Oh, there's a big strike from Brooke down there.
So Brooke Salzman, way off on the left, has 93 through 6. That strike up in the 7th. Chase Swenson, 69 through 6 with a spare in the 7th. So a double would really start to inflate that lead for Salzman, who has really been in the lead in this match from the get-go. Oh. And not the break that
That is not the break
Yule
you want,
wanted.
that's for sure.
So be interesting to see if he gets the count here, because that can mean a lot.
Ah, 1 pin's big right now.
Yep. And he didn't. So that'll be 200 even, because he bounced it out of the gutter.
Yep.
So
200 even.
Tyler needs to mark and get good count. To win. Oh, Salzman with a washout and almost made it. Just sent the head pin around the 10. We've seen that before. Ooh, Tyler wasn't sure about that one, but it did hit high flush pocket, and he hits a strike. And now all he needs is count, and he's got 2 balls to do it. Tyler Rittenauer is your winner in that match on 5 and 6. Off to the left, Chase Swenson, another open, picks the 3-6 off the 10. He's got 95 through 8. Salzman with 121 through 8. And a pretty big lead late in that match. Sample off to the right here, up in his 10th frame with a shot at 203 if he can punch out. And gets the first one to go. That 7-pin slow to fall, but in the end, drops back into the pit. He needs everything he can get right now. He cannot shut out Jason Moberg. He'll have a chance to step up in the 10th and win it. On the far end, Swenson with a spare in the 9th. Best he can do is 145. As Sample hits a double in the 10th. Salzman leaves a 10-pin. She basically needs a mark in here, picks up this spare, or marks in the 10th, and she's basically got it wrapped up. Let's see off to the right, Elizabeth Rittenauer. Doubling in the 10th. She's still got a shot at 186. She's bowling against Joe Woods Wiseman, who has 140 through 8 with a strike up. So she's going to force him to strike at least once in the 10th. On that first ball in the 10th. And she finishes it out, 186. So Moberg up on the right here, 92 through 6 with 3 strikes following that. Sample just finished out with 201. Oh, the messenger falls short of the 7. And Isaiah Sample is going to win sitting on the bench. Off to the right, Salzman missed that 10-pin, but struck in the 10th. She's going to move on with any type of count in these next 2 shots. And Woods Wiseman did not strike to lead off the 10. So it's Elizabeth Rittenauer winning that match. So some more great matches, just like yesterday. We had a lot of close matches, not a lot of blowouts. Today shaping up to be the same. Brooke Salzman finishes out with a 147, and that's going to be enough. Hoping this isn't backwards, but we have an internet problem here, maybe an outage. But this is the match right here between Trey Henriksmeyer and Dawson Unrath. Finished out with 234. Trey's got a double in the 10th. Needs 8 pins to tie and 9 to win. 8 count. That's a tie match. So it looks like we're setting up for a 9th and 10th frame roll-off here. Man, I'm hoping this works. Someone could let us know in the chat if you can see and hear us. Roll low note here. Trey hits that all-important strike in the 9th here. Dawson will finish out his 2 shots. Let's see where that leaves Trey. So strike for Dawson. And now it all comes down to the 10th frame. Covers the spare. We'll get up with a chance to strike to force Trey to get the first one. This is probably the quietest this place has been all weekend. Okay, he hits it. That's 40, so Trey needs first one to win. If he doesn't, he can go spare strike for tie to tie it up. That's it. All he needs is counting 2 shots, and he is moving on in the winner's bracket. Knew it off his hand. That's a winner. And Trey Henriksmeyer remains undefeated in match play
14.
in both the adult and the youth tournament. He grabs another ball. Just an experiment. Much of the same. So a perfect 60 for Trey in that roll-off. I'm going to keep this here and see if I can reconnect on the computer. We did have a little internet problem, so we'll be back.
Don't want to know what I'm thinking.
All right, good. We are back on. And give me a minute to kind of reset myself here, and we'll let you know who is coming up in this next match.
Hey, I ran into your daughter yesterday. She gave me all the information I needed. Yep. Yeah. I said, go at another week. Yeah.
All right. So if somebody out there wouldn't mind just confirming that you can see and hear everything, that would be a help.
Someone spilled a bottle of coffee.
It's leaking all over the floor. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. All right, sounds good.
I got people covering me. So.
Cool. Thanks again for all your help.
No, thank you.
You bet.
Rab is the now. Facility man.
Ah, okay.
Another
Good deal.
You're good hands.
For sure, as always. All right. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, there was a little blip in the internet. Got us hooked up through cellular for that exciting match that Trey Henriksmeyer won after a roll-off. Thank you to Gibby for letting us know things look good. And let's get back into things. So Zach Andreessen right in front of us. He'll take on Elizabeth Rittenauer. They're tied after a frame, both with strikes. Off to the left, you've got Brooks Salzman and Isaiah Sample on 5 and 6. Whew. And a quick double for Andreessen, who was our leader out of qualifying. It always feels weird to talk about people when they're right within earshot like Zach is right now, but, you know, it's kind of part of the program, I guess. So I believe you had 4 people eliminated after that last match. So we're down to 12. Henriksmeyer is down on 15 and 16. And he is taking on Lucas Herzrud. So Brandon wants to know, is this round 3? Yes, this is the 3rd match. And like I said, it's kind of hard to really give you context because of the how the bracket is. And I'm going to try and give you the other matches here. I'm kind of dragging a microphone out to this handwritten bracket. But right now, you've got to our left on 5 and 6 is Isaiah Sample and Brooke Salzman. On the far end on 15 and 16, Lucas Herzrud versus Trey Henriksmeyer. On 9 and 10, you've got Cody Hunker and Jason Moberg. This is the losers bracket, Cody versus Jason. And they are 9 and 10. 11 and 12 is Drake Waite and Chase Swenson. 7 and 8 is Liz Rittenauer and Zach Andreessen. That's right in front of us. And 13 and 14, you've got Tyler Rittenauer and Dawson Unrath. Brandon said, tuning in late, joined in the middle of the last round. You got the exciting part, though. And Carol wants Brandon to get with the program. No, this is a tough program to follow. But somehow, some way, we do our best to make sense of it. In the end, wow, what a stone cold wiggling 9-pin for Jason Moberg off to the right there. Andreessen coming off an open frame in the 3rd with a strike in the 4th. Ridnour, the sophomore at Lindenwood University, going up high, leaving a 4-7. That right lane has proven to be a little problematic for her in the early going, but still plenty of time to play catch up here. And a spare for Ridnour. So she has 60 through 3 with a spare up in the 4th. Andreessen, 56 through 3 with a strike in his 4th frame. Isaiah Sample off on the left there on 5 and 6 goes up high, leaves a 310. And he will need to pick this up to keep pace with Salzman. And he does. So Sample with a 4-pin lead as Ridenour takes care of the 10-pin. So Andreessen steps up in the 5th with a chance to claim the lead here. And a strike for Andreessen. Puts him back in front. Sample takes care of his spare. 67 through 4 for him with a spare up. And now Salzman in the 5th. Just a few pins back right now. Andreessen crushes it in the 5th, or the 6th rather. That's 3 in a row. You'll recall Andreessen threw a great game to lead qualifying at the end in the 7th game, shot 230 on this same pair, 7 and 8. It's had a few games bowled on it since then, but he is certainly on pace to match that, if not exceed it, this time around. As Ridenour leaves a 6-10. Ooh, a nice split conversion by Brooks Salzman, a 6-7-10. And that keeps her in the match with Isaiah Sample just down 6 pins. Up high for Salzman, leaves a 10-pin. As Ridenour gets her strike in the 7th, and she needed it because Andreessen's had the last 3 and can really dial up the pressure with another 1 or even 2. Salzman takes care of the spare, 80 through 5 with a spare up in the 6th. Oh, and Andreessen throws a great shot and leaves a stone 8. He'll have the lead after this, but man, couldn't have placed it any better. Meanwhile, Sample trips a 4. And now a chance to extend on that 7-pin lead. Sample goes up high, leaves a 3-6. So that'll give Salzman a chance to make this interesting. She hasn't struck yet this match. But now would be a great time to start. Andreessen gets his strike on the left, 155 through 7 with that strike up in the 8th. Rittenauer can hit the next 2 and get within 8 pins. So this one's certainly not over. Here she is in the 8th. Oh, half pocket hit, and that 6 just does not get the 10 out. So she needs this spare and needs to start striking right away. Oh, and she hooked it past the 10. That hurts. So now she's up there, needs, like I said, needs to strike badly in the worst way. She can still hit the next 4 for 205, but Andreessen basically needs a mark or 2, and he'll be cruising. Salzman connects again. So she has 99 through 6 with a spare up in the 7th. There's a strike for Rittenauer. So again, 205 still in play if she can strike out the 10th, but Andreessen with a couple marks could take care of this. Zach has 155 through 7 with a strike up in the 8th. Remember last frame, he threw a great shot on lane 8 and left a solid 8 pin. Brooke Salzman, another 9 count, 118 through 7. And some work to do. Need some help from Isaiah Sample to get back in this match. Now Andreessen, 9th frame, ringing 10. Man, he's thrown some great shots in this match and just not carried. I know that last one wasn't perfect. The 8 pin was darn near perfect. All right, and he covers the 10. So the situation is this. He's got 175 through 8 with a spare up in the 9th. If he doubles, he shuts out Elizabeth Rittenauer. Actually, he could go get the first one and basically have it in hand. He can go strike spare for 215. Best Elizabeth Ridnour can do is 205. Half pocket, flat 10. He's got to pick it up. If he picks up the 10 and gets any sort of count, he's the winner. If he misses it, Ridnour still has a chance. And just like you did on lane 8, dead solid perfect on that 10 pin. Two pins to move on. And he tried a different ball and pounded the pocket. 10 back, 214. That'll be enough. So Andreessen will move on. And a spare for Sample. He's got 144 through 8 with a spare up in the 9th. So 194 still on the table. Brooke Salzman can strike out for 198. But she has to hit the next 3. If she hits the next 3 and keeps it on the lane, she will shut out Isaiah Sample. Trips out the 4, 5, 7, and that was big. So Salzman can double to lock him out. But if she doesn't get the first 2 strikes, Sample still has a chance. That was her first strike of the match in the 9th frame. She did not like that one off her hand. Came up light, left a 2-5. So if she can cover this and strike, she'll end up with 178. And all Sample would need is a mark. And she takes care of the spare. And finishes with a strike in the fill, so it's 178. Sample's going to need a mark. any decent count and a mark anyway. Uh-oh, right through the nose and left a 9-10. So it's very simple. He's got to make it. If he doesn't make this split, Brooks Salzman is going to win the match. Oh, a great shot, but Salzman's going to win it on the bench. Wow. He put that just about exactly where it needed to be. It just was a little left. Not quite right enough to get the 10 out. 178, 171. Brooks Salzman moves on. Off to the left, you'll see, or the right rather, you'll see Jason Moberg come into your frame. I believe that's Tyler Riddenauer he's bowling against. He needs to punch out, or at least get the first two to win. Riddenauer with a 164, and Moberg gets the first one. So he needs a strike and 7.
I don't ask for help. I wait till it comes to me. That's why I didn't start doing good until someone came up to me and gave me advice.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was Cody, not Tyler. You can.
Doug, you suck.
Do you have anything insightful to say besides how much Doug sucks? Oh,
I need to learn how to throw urethane from Fifth Arrow. That's what I learned today.
Like Trey?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Horrible break. Oh, Cody's moving on. Wow. I'll tell you, the most insightful commentary you could give me is how this is all working out, because it's tough to do it without access to the bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to commentate? This looks like a good match over here. What happened?
Yeah.
Wasn't watching.
So Salzman had the 178. Sample needed a mark to win and left a 9-10 and almost made it. He threw a great shot at it, and it just was a little left. Hey, Al, can you bring the bracket over? Can you bring the bracket over?
Yes.
All right. So Al Houston's going to bring us the bracket so we can tell you who is where. Drake Wade is getting started to our right here on 7 and 8. All right, so let's start with the losers bracket. You've got, it looks like it's almost incomplete over there. So Lucas.
He gets a bye.
Oh, Lucas gets a bye. I see. Okay. So on the losers bracket, you've got Cody versus Drake. So Cody Hunker, Drake Wade, and that's right in front of us. So whoever loses that match goes home. You've got Zach Andreessen and Tyler Riddenauer on the left. Also losers bracket match. That's an elimination match for the loser there. On the far right, you've got Trey Henriksmeyer against Brooks Salzman, both in the winners bracket. So the winner of that match will go to the championship. The loser will enter the losers bracket where we'll have, I think, 2 or 3 more matches before we determine the other bowler in the championship match. So the 2 matches you see in front of you are elimination matches. We'll see who's moving on and who's going home. Dawson Peterson, your thoughts?
Well, I don't know here. See, we got another purple hammer from left fifth arrow this time.
Yeah.
And we got a lefty throwing a purple, so
Okay. So you're about to get an education
yeah,
about how to throw it.
I'm gonna learn how to
that
do it.
urethane from fifth arrow.
Then Drake at the end of the last match looked like he had a really good look.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Drake in that match.
Just got that 6-10 out. Zach has thrown up. I'll tell you, Zach was over here on 7 and 8 last game. Threw a lot of great shots. Carried most. Left, I think, an 8 and a ringing 10 that could have given him trouble, but he was able to strike on most of the rest and survive. Cody's got a little work here to do with a 1-2-10, and he's coming off an open in the first, so pretty important to take care of business. Wow.
See, you hit the head pin, it strikes.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. It's because I don't use 2 hands.
I also do not, but maybe I should start.
Right?
And see on the right side of your frame, Trey Henriksmeyer hitting a strike in the second. He's bowling against Brooks Salzman in that lone winners bracket match. Again, the winner between those two moves on to the championship match. Tyler Riddenauer with a high hit, leaving a 6-pin.
I have never stood this far left ever. I think I was standing on like 35.
There's my guy, Jim Lucas.
How'd that get
for
back?
Trey.
Surprised that shot by Drake got back there. That one got pretty far out.
Yeah. That's a big double for him and trouble for Cody unless he can start striking right off the bat. Jim, if you're joining us late, Trey has not lost a match in either the adult or the youth match games. He went a perfect 6-0 yesterday, and he is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 3-0 today. One of those wins coming against Dawson Unrath in an unbelievable roll-off. Oh, Cody almost took down the 4-6-7.
Yeah, he's going to need to start striking
Oh, yeah.
in a big hole.
Andreessen right up against the ball return.
That looked like a different purple to me.
Yeah, a little high. Leaving just the 10-pin. Salzman with a flat 10 over there on 9 and 10. She won a match against Isaiah where I think it took her until the 9th frame to throw her first strike of the match, and I think she'll need a few more X's in this
Yeah.
one. Spare for Andreessen. Uh-oh. Jenny says you're not much help, Dawson.
I know. I'm sick.
I think Dawson has really, given us some entertaining moments this weekend.
Yeah,
A lot of entertainment value.
I agree.
Jim wants to know if Trey is throwing backup. I don't think he's throwing a backup.
Nah, he's just throwing purple over the gutter.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just really deep with urethane, and that seems to be a pretty good look for both him. You'll see Zach Andreessen throwing it that way.
Doesn't matter what pattern you put out, they're gonna end up doing it eventually.
Yeah.
And you can't beat it because it just sits in the oil or it reads the dry perfectly.
Yeah.
And rolls. And somehow it strikes every time.
So Cody did hit that strike in the fourth. Here's his fifth frame. That one went up high for a 3.610, which has really been a tough spare today. I've seen that chopped a few times.
That's the hardest makeable in my opinion.
Oh.
I'd rather shoot it with a 9-pin.
Yeah. Trey going up through the nose, leaving just a 610. But still maintaining an 11-pin lead as long as he can take care of the spare. Ooh, that's trouble for Tyler Ridenour. Cody out of the building on that last spare attempt, so he's in deep, deep trouble.
Yeah, he's gonna need a punch out.
He needs to punch out and get some help. And Tyler is approaching
He's
that
also
territory.
gonna have to start striking.
Yeah. He's got 76 through 5. Andreessen has taken care of business on the left. Hasn't struck yet on the right, though. Let's see what he does in the fifth. See Brooke Salzman come into your frame on the right side there. She's up through the nose for a 3.610. And again, she's stayed clean, but she hasn't struck yet. And Trey's got a double in the second and third.
That one took off.
Yeah. That did. But he's got that comfortable lead, so he can afford a few like that. Brooke takes care of the 3.610. She's only down 2 pins.
Yeah, Drake's got a good look.
Drake has a really good look, yeah.
That match is pretty much over.
So Lucas and Isaiah are on buys, so they're on a practice pair down there. That kind of tripped us up yesterday. Well, Isaiah's up here, but Lucas is bowling on a practice pair. So we basically have just the 3 matches going on right now. Oh, Andreessen's got that rolling pin, and it takes down the 7.
The slowest rack I've ever seen. Keeps the Dutch alive.
Yes, he does. So Brock says the left side is walled.
Left side is always walled.
And Nickelback says, let's go Trey. I don't know who Nickelback is. But all right. So Brooke ended up opening in the fifth. She's got 79 through 5. There's Trey's fifth frame shot, shakes out the 5-7. And he's built back the lead. That match probably the tighter of the three, as Ridenour leaves a 3-5-6-9. The chicken bucket, as Jim would say. And he takes care of all four. And there's a double for Trey. He's in command now. And Salzman's going to have to figure something out because she hasn't struck yet this match. So you can see Andreessen lining up right in front of that little arm of the ball return. That's a different ball. And that just didn't climb the hill.
Because it's not your thing. Would have struck.
All right, spare for Andreessen. As you said, keeps the Dutch alive. Coincidentally, Doug was hollering that yesterday.
Yep.
Jenny said she will agree that you're entertaining, so we've got that.
Not in the interview earlier. That was bad.
That's okay. You just needed a little shadow ball, you know?
Yeah.
A warm up. Salzman switched balls on that shot, but came up high, left a 4-pin. And Andreessen stays perfect on that left lane. Ridenour up high leaves a 6-pin. As Salzman makes her spare in the 7th. She's got 98 through 6 with a spare up in the 7th. Trey with 76 through 4 and a double up in the 5th and 6th. You'll see Trey come into the right side of your screen. That's his 7th frame. And
Kicks the 7 out again. Tyler's going to need some help here.
yep.
And so is Brooke. And they both need to strike out.
Zach has been perfect on the left lane, but he has yet to get a hit on the right. He's thrown 2 different bowling balls. Looks like he's switched back. No? No? I don't think he switched back. No.
It's a journey still.
Okay.
Got around a little more.
Yep. That one jumped up high. 4-pin. Trey, high flush pocket 9. Trey's going to be up by about 37, assuming he makes this spare. And Dreesen just takes down that 4. So if he does indeed keep the Dutch alive, he'll have enough to shut out Rittenauer. Basically, with good count and a mark, he'll be okay.
Yep.
There's Salzman on the right side of your screen. Going up high, leaving a 610. So she has 116 through 7. And she's going to need to run the last 4 to have a chance.
Needs to make it.
Yep.
To make it and decent count.
Decent count. And he'll move on.
I think I picked a great pattern for this.
It's
Not
been,
too many people were probably very happy with me.
It's
but
been very challenging. Yeah. All right. Bowling with Diallo says, "Hi guys, how are you? Just getting back from a tournament of his own." So that's good. Here's the shot at the 10, and he does get it. Warren says, "Nice
7.
game for Drake. Keep it going." Yeah, that was a nice game. 243 is no joke on that pair.
And you just need 7.
Mhm.
Bowl. 7 pins and we'll bowl Lucas again.
Salzman gets her first strike of the game again in the 9th frame, so she can sheet it for 196. And Trey is definitely in the driver's seat. He'll need a mark in the next 2 frames to get there.
Oh, see, that's the Brady Guston idea.
Was it really?
All right, Andreessen grabbed a reactive ball, gave it a go, and struck for the win. Trey does the same. He is more than likely going to move on to the championship match.
Just need 6 pins, 2 shots. 4 out is always in play.
Down to the nitty-gritty. Throw shots until you're done on 9 and 10. They're they're almost done. Oh yeah. Well, you play next round now. Yeah, 9 and 10.
All right, so Trey Henriksmeyer wins again. He'll move on to the championship match. And now it comes down to who will advance through the loser's bracket to meet him. So yesterday when this happened, I snapped a picture of him, like as he was coming back from the approach, and plastered it all over social media. And according to Trey, it was a less than favorable shot. So I'm going to hold back this time and just assume everybody's listening to the stream and knows that Trey will advance to the championship match. And we'll see him in a bit. Trey ended up striking out for 235. Again, undefeated in match play this weekend.
Travel safe. Thanks again, guys.
See the start of a match over here between Drake Waite and Isaiah Sample.
Only one-hander left. What a shame.
Hey, Trey, I didn't take a picture of you coming back from the approach this time. He seemed very happy about that. Yeah. I didn't this time. Yeah. Yeah. Make a goofy face. Sideburns.
Yeah.
Okay. U15's out.
Yeah, 2 bonus.
Okay.
All right, so a strike for Sample. He's gone spare strike his first 2. Waite has a strike in the first and is now up in the second frame.
Tough field.
He got up there fast. He did not waste any time, but got the desired result, and he is off and running with a double.
Yeah, 3 and 4 is a pair that has always got me in this tournament. Because never remember that lane 3 hooks about 3 boards less and costs me every single time. As I said, hooks way less.
So off to the right, off screen, is a match between Zach Andreessen and Lucas Herzrud.
Two of them are sitting out there, the 2 above. You live up here with your buddy? Yeah, right, yeah. Which book did he have?
He's trying to turn this camera.
Side for 7.
Yeah, these are some weird angles we've got going here, but I'm kind of tethered to the, to 7 and 8 because I want to be here because this is where the championship will be. But yeah, in the quarterfinal like this, it gets kind of wonky. Maybe I should start a GoFundMe for more cameras.
Right? Get them on every pair.
Yeah. So here's Drake after that open in the third. Comes up light. Here's a 2-4-5. We'll switch it over to the other side and Zach Andreessen. And he strikes there. Now he's got a reactive ball on that pair. So again, he's against Lucas Herzrud as Drake Waite
Want to commentate?
steps up in the fifth.
So
You can commentate.
I'm bad at it.
It's okay. I don't know what I'm gonna say other than have my ball doesn't stop looking.
Get lefter.
Dawson, I literally can't. It's gonna go in the left gutter because my don't have enough muscles.
What we really want to know is how's the pizza?
It's real good.
Pizza's good here.
Pizza seems to be the choice of champions right now. I mean, both Trey and
Hello,
Brooke
Tyler.
mowing down on it.
I hate the purple hammer.
I'm so confused. So.
I don't mind the purple hammer until it gets left at fourth arrow. Then I hate it because I can't do that.
That's why I got the Web Pro, right?
Yeah, right.
I really think I'm throwing my mix.
I mean, that's what I did yesterday.
Either that, or when the time comes for me to practice, I'm gonna try my fast pitch.
Here's Herzrud coming off a strike in the second, but
Oh, no.
floating
I
that one
gave
by
it
the
away.
pocket.
I think
So
Shim's
he's
forever.
got a 1, 2, 8, 10. Meanwhile, Sample up in the sixth. He's got 99 through the first four with a spare up.
That's
Too
the only thing good
expensive
about
for me.
is the pizza.
That's true.
Oh.
And he strikes, but Herzrud leaves an open after getting 2 out of that washout.
What?
Oh, Dawson would be winning the whole thing. First tournament back, he's winning.
Yep, that's right.
Off
My
camera
favorite
there,
tournament of the
Drake
year.
Waite just hit a strike in the sixth.
So what?
Nope.
Here's
Okay,
the third
I gotta
frame.
go.
Okay. For Andreessen coming off a strike, but
Women's orders.
What? He said women's orders.
Bye. Not forever.
Oh, you're coming back?
We just have to. I wanted him to unlock his car so I could stop.
Oh. He's coming back.
women's orders.
Yeah.
All right, an open frame for Drake Waite. He's got 130 through 7.
Fine. No.
And Sample has got a chance to extend that lead.
Don't listen to him. Not for long.
Really?
We'll lane this championship match out.
7, 8, 5, 6.
7 and 8.
All right.
I need to 5 and 6.
Oh, you'll meet
Ring
you.
10 and
I'll meet you there.
I got a purple hammer.
I got a mix.
I got a UFO
I got a mix.
That's where you're at.
so
Trey's got like 5 balls at
Hey,
work. I got 1.
so
I got
Dawson
like 6 balls.
Dawson just left. I've got Brooke and Trey sitting back here. Meanwhile, munching on pizza.
We got our buys. You know.
Hey, Brooke and Dawson, it's Darren.
Darren Hansen.
Darren Hansen.
Oh
Wow,
god.
I feel included.
Hi, Darren. I hope you're alive. Surviving
he's alive.
well.
For the record, Darren, I did remember to put your flyers out.
Yeah, he did. He did put the flyers out. Texatonka.
Way to work
Way to
out.
work out.
Yeah,
Way to work.
took me about 4 games to remember.
Dude, this pizza's gonna go.
This is Isaiah Sample in the 8th.
That's why I didn't-
Up high, but just leaves a 4-7.
Way to go, Zach.
So he's got 157 through 7.
I was like, it's all your thing. Some of them just have plasticizers that make them have pores. It's all your thing. Every ball has your thing.
Darren says, yes, thanks.
Yeah, what is this flyer for?
It's for an adult junior tournament on New
Wait, you
Year's
wanna be my
Day.
youth?
What is it?
New Year's
Just
Day.
kidding. I fly out to trials that
I'm
day.
gonna be in Vegas.
Yeah.
We're gonna be there on.
Really?
We're leaving the 30th. 31st.
We're leaving the 1st. The AM of the 1st.
Here's Drake Waite in the 8th frame. Hits the strike to get back in this thing. So he's still got a shot at 220 if he hits the next 4.
Needs them all. Pretty much.
Sample's got 157 through 7 with a spare up in the 8th. And he gets his in the 9th. So Sample can shoot 227, and that would be enough to shut him out. But if he doesn't get the next 3, he'd still have a chance. Uh-oh. And he went through the face and left a 6-7. So let's see what happens. If he makes it, he can still shut him out if he makes it. If he doesn't, then we've got a match here. And he got 1. So he'll have 184 through 9. If he strikes out for 214, Drake would need, I think, the first 2. Trey is nodding yes. Math is not my strong suit, but yeah. Confirmed. And he gets the first and the 10th. Sample goes a little high, leaves that 4 pin, so he can spare for 204. And Drake will need 1 strike and good count on the second shot in the 10th, and he will move on to take on the winner of Zach Andreessen and Lucas Herzrud. Gets the first one. Drake Wade is moving on. And the the tournament for Isaiah Sample comes to an end. Wait with a clutch double in the 10th to survive. He'll be in the 2 teens, if not 220. Make it 220. Drake Wade hit the last 5 and needed almost all of them. But he will move on to face the winner of this match between Lucas Herzrud and Zach Andreessen. Herzrud is in the 6th right now. He's looking at a 2-8. And gets them both. So he has 75 through 5 with a spare up in the 6th. Andreessen with 98 through 5 and a strike in his 6th frame.
Have a great day.
Hey, thanks for the help.
Tied for 5th and 6th. Yep. Good day. Yeah. It's a tough field. Tough lanes. Yeah, they're very, a little different.
Oh, we probably get this ball.
From there, I just want to make sure to shake his hand before he leaves.
Herzrud can't quite get that 6 up out of the channel to take out the 10, so he'll have that to shoot at. Andreessen will get up in the 7th with the lead and a chance to extend if he can continue striking. So misses the 10. He's got 103 through 7. And now Andreessen can really put the pressure on another strike or two here. Up high, leaves a 6. But he'll still be up by 20 plus with that spare.
I was just outside.
Well, we got 5 and 6. We'll go play Brooke.
Oh.
And then the match will go on for trade.
So
5 and 6, 3 and 4, 7.
So technically I do sell one. Not trying to
So Andreessen's got the spare 118 through 6 with a spare in the 7th. Here he is in the 8th, a little more room to maneuver on the left side of the approach without that ball return there. Great shot. Slapped out the 10. So he's still got a chance at 228 if he can hit the next 4. For Lucas, he needs to start striking now. He's got 103 through 7. And he's got to hope for some help from Zach Andreessen. Up through the face. 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. And that may just about do it. So the best Herserud is going to do is 156. Zach basically needs to keep the ball on the lane in one of these next two frames. And he will be moving on to face Drake Waite right next to us on lanes 5 and 6. All right, so it'll be Zach Andreessen against Drake Waite in our quarterfinal match. The winner there will take on Brooke Salzman, and that winner will move on to the championship, where once again Trey Henriksmeyer will have to be beaten twice if he is not to win both tournaments this weekend. Trey has basically gone 240, 220, 230, 220. He was the 6th seed coming out of qualifying and won 4 straight matches, including the one in a roll-off against Dawson Unrath.
Before we go.
So it'll be Andreessen versus Waite on 5 and 6.
Anybody leave iPhone on the counter? Bueller, anybody leave an iPhone on the counter?
I appreciate it again, man.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Switch.
So that'll be our next match. Zach Andreessen versus Drake Waite. Jim has called Chicken Bucket, of course. Want to give a big fat thank you to everybody who's joining us live. We're in the final four right now of our match play at the 2023 Youth Holiday Match Games at Colonial Lanes, Rochester, Minnesota. If you like what you're seeing, hit that like button. Give it a thumbs up. Let us know you enjoy the content. Consider subscribing. You can hover over that logo in the bottom right. Subscribing costs you nothing. You just need to have a Google account and be logged in at the time. It helps me continue to create the content. And if you hit the notification bell and turn notifications on, you can be among the first to know when we go live or upload a recorded video.
Jim. It's miles an hour. Just make it 12 and 18 left. A lot harder.
Brooke Salzman taking some practice shots over off to our right.
Thank you.
Carry. You're right up all right. I'll believe you when the 10 pin falls. I'll believe you when the 10 pin falls down.
These are all planned. Are you fine? Are you finding out driving yourself? And then we're gonna stop. Use it in the car.
I would too.
It's 12 on very similar to last year. I usually crush the with one a little bit after. I spread it out a little bit more.
She was sad.
Take care. Yeah, appreciate you guys.
I'll let you know before I come down.
Sounds good, Jeff.
It'll be all good. And my sister.
Yeah.
I love my sister. See you.
Yes, it was
Gross.
They're gonna give her a little hope.
Yeah.
Number one. I think.
Ask how you're welcome.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Seriously try that. I think that's a Gary grab.
Okay. So Darren wants to know how many left. So this is our quarterfinal match between Drake Waite and Zach Andreessen. The winner of this takes on Brooke Salzman in the semifinal. And the winner of that takes on Trey Henriksmeyer, who has gone undefeated through the winner's bracket both days.
Yeah. On a roll.
He would have to lose twice. He wins one more match, and he's the champ. And a 6'10" for weight. I didn't catch what Zach missed in the first.
Four pin.
Four pin? Okay.
4 pin or 8 pin.
You bet, Darren. Thank you.
Experiment done.
All right. So weight with 38 through 2 and the strike in the third. And now Andreessen's got some work to do.
Jay Drake's the youngest one in the field right now. He's a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you got the 2 college kids, Zach and Brooke. And Trey's, a senior in high school?
Yep.
Going to Wichita State.
I didn't see what ball he was using in the last match against Lucas, but it looked like a different ball. I don't know. He's thrown a few of them during the course of the match play today. Oh, great shot, ringing 10. Seen a few of those from him today, but he's been able to strike when he's needed it. Oh, and he missed the 10 pin. Yikes. That's a big opening for Drake.
Yeah, and Drake catches the double right now. Now it's kind of like you're playing defense at this point. You know,
Yep.
Keep around the pocket, pick your single pins up,
Mm-hmm.
catch a little string, you know. Ooh, okay, got himself out of trouble.
Okay, just the 4 pin. Okay, his spare puts him at 58 through 3 with that spare in the fourth. Andreessen with 56 through 4, so he's going to be up about 20-something, depending on count. There's some count for you.
Yeah. 10 back, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's cool watching matches like this because, you know, I've kind of talked a little bit with Drake through the last couple of years. He's a very personal kid, really mature for his age, but he definitely looks up to Zach, and he's definitely got some great advice from Zach through the years. So I always like seeing that, you know, when you have one of those guys, maybe even though Zach's younger, still a mentor, you know, in college,
Yeah.
someone he looks up to, that when you get to play each other this far in a tournament, you know.
Sure. So Zach moved up in front of the ball return on that one. Still floated a little bit light. Left a 2 pin. You can see he makes those calculated moves. He was inside that little arm of the ball return for most of the day. And now going a little farther left. Takes care of that spare. Little light again, a 2-8. I can't remember a match that he's thrown today where it's taken this many frames for him to get a strike.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so Zach with 73 through 5, a spare in the 6th. Drake now up in the 6th, 78 through 4 with that strike up in the 5th. Wow, caught a break
There's
there on a
break
high
right
hit.
There's a break right there. It just doesn't quite trust that right lane.
Another high hit, didn't get as lucky that
He
time.
didn't really take his time that time. He just kind of ran up there, it looked like that time.
Yeah. And he got one. So that'll leave him with 125 through 7. But now with a strike or two,
Yeah.
Zach's right back in it. Wow. You think he's deep?
Hey, you know, if there's anybody that's going to bear down and make shots when they need to, it's going to be Zach.
Yeah.
Seen him done it. Seen him do it time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. We
That's
got a
a
match.
big double.
We got a match. Looks like Drake can still strike out and win the match. High and Answers back with a strike. Not out yet. A big 9-frame strike here.
I'm going to try and go off that cell phone camera. I know those of you in the audience can't really tell, but I'm going to try and go off that cell phone camera in the semifinal.
Okay. Oh, I got it. Yep. A little better angle on the.
Oh,
He just trips it. That one I had to think a little bit.
yep. So a 1-pin lead.
I did learn something about Zach this weekend when he filled out his sheet. Apparently, he lives on Goat Street.
Something for everybody to think about there.
That's what was on the sheet.
Huh?
Oh, that was a little right.
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's trouble. So it's a 210. I mean, it can be done. Not easy. You can throw
Not
that 2
easy.
into the 10.
If was ever somebody to make it, it'd be like Zach.
Ooh, looked like it had a chance to come out of the back.
I thought I was going to tail off a hair more.
Yeah. All right, so now he needs to punch for 180. And that puts Drake firmly in the driver's seat. He'd basically just need count and a spare. Not even.
Looks like we got Drake Wade moving on then.
Yeah.
You're going to go meet Brooke. They're going to be on lanes 3 and 4.
That's tough. He threw the ball really good all
Not a good
day.
showing, though. I mean,
Yeah, but you gotta keep going. Gotta keep hitting it on those pairs as they get crispier and crispier. And Drake has certainly done that through the course of this match. So it'll be Drake Waite versus Brooke Salzman coming up in our semifinal match. All right, here we go. It's a semifinal match. I've got Al checking to make sure you can still hear me. Oh yeah, we got some ads. A couple of practice shots for each of them, or nope? That's the real thing. That's the real thing. All right. So Drake starts out with a strike on the third, or on lane 3 rather, first frame. And here's Brooke Salzman, who made her way to the match against Trey and fell a little short. Yeah, she's playing the out of bounds and leaves a 2-pin. Brooke was the high female qualifier in the youth holiday match games. Took home $400 for that. And here she is in the semifinal match, taking on Drake Wade. And started out with an open. So I'll tell those of you in the audience, I've got kind of a goofy setup going on because I want to be front and center on this pair. And I'm actually broadcasting from my phone, so I can't really see comments because I've got it faced the other way. But hopefully it works out. Nice shot. Brooks slaps out that 10 and recovers from the missed 2-pin. And then we go to Drake, who we've mentioned a couple times, just a sophomore in high school, but he has made his way up, climbed the ladder up to the semifinal match here. Reigning 10 on lane 4. Drake does not waste any time. He gets up there and gets it done. Up a little high, but takes down the 4, so building up that early lead. He's got 40 through 2 with a strike in the third. Shakes him up, get that double. Our championship match will be on lanes 7 and 8, where I've got the main cameras set up, so you can hear the pinfall in the background. That's Trey Henriksmeyer on the practice pair. Great shot from Brooke. She's really found something there on the gutter. Oh, beautiful shot. And just 8-pin did not move. So 60 through 3 with that spare in the fourth for weight. Meanwhile, Salzman with a 3-bagger after missing 2-pin, I think that was, in the first. 4-pin. Wow. And then right through the nose for a 4, 6, 7, 10. And missed all 4, so he'll have 82 in the 5th. And now Brooke comes up in her 5th frame with a chance to really put some pressure on. Did the same thing, right through the face. So she'll have a lead after this. But match will certainly tighten up once again. Took a shot at it, but just got 1. So she's up 7 through 5. She's got 89 through 5 frames. Weight with 82 through 5. She takes that interchangeable thumb, puts it back from the spare ball into the reactive ball. She'll throw on lane 3. Beautiful shot. Great recovery from that split. She has not missed on lane 3 so far. Just has not found a way to carry on 4. Ringing 10s and a solid 8. Up a little high, up to 4-7. So Salzman will head up there in the 7th frame, looking to extend her lead. Got up a little more, flat 10, so dead solid perfect on that spare, so Salzman goes into the 8th frame up 9 pins. He's got 109 through 6 with that spare up. Three frames to go in the semifinal match. Got that left a little bit early, but took down the 9, so great break for her in the 8th frame, 129 through 7 with that strike in the 8th. Now Drake needs to put up some strikes of his own to catch up. One up high, leaving him with a 6 pin. He's got 119 through 7, still has a possibility of 199 out there. That would force Salzman to get a double in there somewhere. Ninth frame. Wastes little time. Goes up high, leaves a 4-9. Misses them both, so he's got 145 through 9. Salzman just needs a couple spares, and she'll be moving on to the championship. There's a 10 pin. She left the same thing in the 7th frame, same week 10. Dead solid perfect. 2 clutch 10-pin spares down the stretch, and all she needs now is good count. Yeah, 9 pins will do it. Brooke Salzman is moving on to the championship match where she will take on Trey Henriksmeyer for the 2023 Youth Holiday Match Games Championship. So I'm going to move the camera over back to our other one. Actually, no, we'll try this.
Just so if you guys get together and just like-
Right.
Can I just grab my pop and have a
Yeah, we're in the basket right now.
Okay, buddy.